guys, I am back with another movie review for you all. Now today I'm back actually with my buddy little Alex. Yes, I do love Funko Pops, I think they're amazing. And when I saw my little friend Alex Delage in the shop, I thought, I just have to. Fun fact about me, A Clockwork Orange is one of my favourite movies. So expect a review of that in the future. But today is about another movie for me to review for you guys, and that movie is a film called Antichrist. Now, this is directed by Lars von Trier and it stars Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg, and if you've heard about it, you've probably heard all sorts of stories, and I'm sort of here today to sort of both add validity and also debunk the myth, because it is a very, very good film. So without any more rambling, let's get down to reviewing. So, sorry, I apologise, I've been down with the flu for the past week, so please excuse my gross sounding voice and blocked nasal passage. Anyway, this film is, it opens very beautifully with a scene of Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg's characters, who are not named throughout the movie. They are having sexual intercourse, and it just so happens that while they are doing so, they're so sort of fully engaged in this act that they don't notice their child, their very young son, wander up to the open window and fall out of it. Unfortunately, he dies, and this movie follows the sort of passage of grief that especially the mother, Charlotte Gainsbourg, tends to go down. It's sort of very soul-destroying, and it's sort of this married couple's sort of journey of dealing with this grief. But it takes a very, very dark turn, as anyone who has seen this film will know, and I know all too well. But yeah, I just wanted to note that I did want this YouTube channel to include all variety of films from all genres, even the films that are slightly controversial. So this film will probably definitely not be for everyone, but I wanted to review it anyway because it's different and I wanted some variety on this channel. So there you go. But I thought this movie was beautifully shot. I think Lars von Trier's direction was just absolutely stunning. I absolutely love the opening sort of grayscale sequence shot in slow motion, with the sort of classical music sort of, sounded over the shot. I think it was gorgeous, with an incredibly sad glow about it that just built you up for this shocking, really soul-destroying moment when the child falls out the window, and it just set you up for the sort of depression of the rest of the movie. It's not particularly enlightening. It is a little bit freaky, but I think this sort of strange, slow, fluid sequence really set you up for it. I thought that the acting was stunning from both Dafoe and Gainsbourg, but I think Gainsbourg really took this movie to another level. She took the character to another level. Despite the strange, sort of peculiar quality of what is happening to these characters, especially in the latter parts of the movie, it's still strangely believable, and I think that's testament to Dafoe and Gainsbourg. I think just her sort of really raw grief is so sort of uncomfortable to witness, but I think they're both great, and they are such hard roles to sort of fit into, and they did brilliantly. And I thought they added to the whole dramatism of the movie. I think it's such eye-widening horror watching these events unfold before your very eyes, and the implications that they have. For example, when he discovers in the attic of this little cabin that they go to sort of sort things out mentally, he discovers a book that she created when their son was still alive, which she's entitled Gynocide. And just the implications from that, you just know there's something wrong. And that sort of horrible dawning realization, which becomes apparent through these scenes and also through the fantastic dialogue, is, you know, that this woman, even before her grief, was not okay. And it seems like her grief has just exacerbated everything that was possibly going on in her head, whatever was wrong. And you sort of understand from that this is, you know, far darker than you presumed at first glance. And it's so gruesome, the events which unfold. There are particular scenes which I cannot mention on camera, which are just foul, so foul, I can't even tell you. Nothing will prepare you for it. So my advice is to just go along with it. Don't try and psych yourself up beforehand, because even though whatever you've heard, don't try it, because it won't work. It's equally as shocking. You will not prepare yourself, I promise you that. But it has a really sort of gripping value. You don't want to turn away, despite how sort of sickened and disgusted you are with what is going on before your very eyes. And I think that's just I think that's, you know, partly human nature, but I think it's also testament to Lars von Trier and his story, and it's a great film. I will tell you now that it certainly stuck with me, and not entirely for the wrong reasons. There were some really sort of grotesque scenes, but even though they were sort of half of the reason why the film stuck with me, they were also not, because this film just had such a beautiful, stunning edge to it that really sort of made you not want to look away. And I think the whole theme, the whole ambiguity of this film really provoked some thought, and that's what I love about a movie. And it is certainly a film that you can take whatever you want from it. This is a film that, you know, it's not sort of one explanation. Its ending in particular is very symbolic, very ambiguous. I think you can make your own mind up, and people can write theories for forever and ever. But I guess only Lars von Trier knows. But you can form your own opinion on it. You can form your own opinion on what it means. I think it was just beautifully shot, beautifully done. It's an artful, dramatic picture with some very gross points. But some great acting, and, you know, just every piece of direction was just gorgeous. I was totally enthralled by it. I think the direction was one of my favourite parts about this movie, because it just made it seem like a moving, you know, work of art, and I loved that. So, you know, people can say, you know, what was the point of this movie? Well, what's the point of any movie? Do you know what I mean? And I think it was beautiful in a very strange way. It was different. Like I said previously in this review, it is not going to be for everyone, because some people just can't handle what happens in this film, and I totally understand that. But some people will love it, and some people will love it, you know, because it has great direction, it has great acting, and I think that's why I loved it. It seemed like a really well-made, well thought out picture, and, you know, I can't take much away from it. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like 4 out of 5 stars. Was it, you know, the best movie I'd ever seen? No, I think it was sort of too weird and too quirky for that. But nevertheless, I still thought it had some really great substance there. And I would definitely, for anyone who is a fan of the sort of weird, artful, artsy films, definitely give it a try. I think you will love this. And I think it's the first Lars von Trier film I've actually ever seen. And I do want to see more of his work, because I was so pleasantly surprised by how gripping it was. So despite all of the gory parts, despite all of the gross parts, I thought it was great. And even though there were gross, weird, very disturbing points. Nevertheless, I thought, I didn't feel like it was unnecessary. I felt like it added something to the story. I didn't feel like it was gore for gore's sake, or, you know, gross weirdness for gross weirdness sake. It just felt like it added something, and I think that was good. So that's my take on Antichrist. It might not be your opinion. You might think, what in God's name is this movie? I have no idea what I just watched. I never want to see this film again. Burn it, condemn it, get rid of it. Well, that's fine, because everyone has their own opinions, and if you have a particular burning opinion that you want to get out of your system about this movie, then comment below. I would love to hear what you think. I will say nudity, extreme violence and mutilation. So for anyone who is thinking, watching this and thinking alarm bells are going off in their head, don't watch it, or at least treat it with caution. But for those who don't mind that kind of stuff, I think it's a picture that you might take a little bit of time to get into, but nevertheless, I think you'll probably enjoy it. Although you can only know that until you've seen it, so ignore me. Anyway, that is my take on Lars von Trier's Antichrist. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you want me to do more in the future, just leave a comment with the movie you want me to review down below, and I will of course do my very best for you. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.